Quick video real quick, just checking in with you guys, and I had something I wanted to talk about real quick. Basically, there's that, okay? And since I've gotten this bike and I've thrown that on there, obviously you get a lot of attention, but you know, not to be mean or anything, but some people I've talked to that have either the same bike or, you know, they own a bike that's similar, and then they're looking to throw that on there, which is the SC Project GP-22, which is specifically designed for the Aprilia RSV4. Yeah, it's a lot of puzzling things that I wouldn't do as a motorcyclist, tuning and you know, modding out your bikes. There's some things that people do and I don't understand. It's quite foolish if you ask me, but for starters, that thing is designed from MotoGP spec material, gear, whatever you want to call it. I'm starting to realize that there are more younger riders who've never been to one of those events, and I encourage you to do so. I've ran into at least 5 people that have Tuanos that wanted to put, actually 2 of them put that pipe on their bikes, and they hated it. And so I asked, why would you throw that on your bike? And they said, well, we heard it on a clip and it sounded really mean and gnarly and whatnot, and it does, no doubt about it. But they did not take into account that it was a MotoGP grade exhaust system.
Well, look next time, use your eyes. They ain't supposed to just be hazel, they're supposed to do some goddamn work around here. This ain't for play, I don't do this for fun.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry, ho, be careful. Lord, gee, well, you know what? I'm tired of your presence. Dismissed.
That is not your standard exhaust system. That's why that costs $2,200 by itself. That is aeronautical grade material that they only use on that bike. And I can't say enough. I encourage more younger riders. I still consider myself younger too, but I've been to many MotoGP events, and the stuff they have on your bikes, they don't sell to the public. So when they actually release that's groundbreaking, and I don't think most people know that. All your exhausts aren't going to sound like that. You can get an M4, Yoshimura, Aero, all that stuff. It will not sound like that. This bike sounds like a MotoGP bike. Now granted, on the MotoGP bike, that's only one portion of it, and there's also 2 that go up the back. So imagine what that would sound like. But just the same, just that one alone is putting you at about 120 decibels or above that. My bike is tuned now, so obviously it's gonna, you know, stretch out what it can. The other thing that I think people miss out on is a lot of times your exhaust note from your bike that's the character and the tonal sound of your bike. That's what your bike sounds like. Just because you get an exhaust doesn't mean it's going to sound low, you know, low growl with every bike. That's not how it's designed. V-twin sound a certain way, inline 4 sound a certain way, obviously V4 sound a certain way. This is my first V4, so it's a cool experience. I'm learning on this bike, but it's just stupid things that I see. One of my co-workers, he rides around, he's got a Yamaha R6. He straight up just short piped his bike and rides it. It's not tuned or anything, and he backfires like crazy. And I'm like, bro, at some point your bike is gonna break down. But you know, you can suggest things and just leave it alone. But I wouldn't do that myself. You might as well get it tuned. You know, there's some people that believe that they can just throw anything on any bike and it's going to run perfectly, and that's not how it works. It's a combination of things, and if you don't get it tuned right, you can end up harming what you claim to love to ride, apparently. But just mind-blowing things that I'm keep hearing. So if you're if you have this bike and you're interested in something like that, you have to take into account this is from MotoGP racing. If you've never been to one of those events, you need to experience it, because you've never experienced sound like that before. It is insane. And imagine hearing like 15 of those bikes going by you at one time, and they're at high RPMs. If you have not been to World Superbike, or you haven't been to Moto America or another professional organization, I encourage you to do so, because you have no idea what speed is, and you have no idea what real sound sounds like. They use the parts you can't get. That's what this is. So I'm just saying, keep that in mind when you're thinking about going for something like this, and it's just a impulse move. You'll be in for a shock, especially if it's too much for you. Then you just wasted $200. I love it myself.
I am a boy.
You know, I ride by myself for the most part. I got it because when I first fell in love with Aprilia, it was at a MotoGP event, and when that thing screamed across, well, not screamed, it roared. That's why, you know, his name is Draco, but aka Rolling Thunder. And that's basically what I heard when I was at the track. And ever since then, I was like, that's one of the bikes I want to get. You know, that was probably like maybe 10 years ago. But yeah, the only other bike I heard that was probably more evil sounding than this bike, and was the KTM, and you can't buy that. That's just a MotoGP prototype, and they don't sell that. But KTMs are crazy. I still love Super Dukes, by the way, the 1290. But yeah, just keep that in mind when you guys are thinking about getting stuff like this. Don't do it on an impulse buy. You get it because you actually like that exhaust. You know what I'm saying? I don't buy stuff for other people so they can gratify. I bought it because I actually like that. I like my motorcycles to roar. You know what I'm saying? It is that simple. You know, the wife, obviously, she has that on there, but the SC's coming for that too. And then when it's gone, it's gone. You know, excuse the home, but if you go look at Steve in here, yeah, he's got a Brock Pentacarbon on here, and it's a full exhaust system. You know, there's ways of making bikes, you know, sound a certain way. But if you're a quiet person and you don't like this kind of stuff, and you don't want to put this kind of stuff on your bike, it's a-okay, and you shouldn't do so. But I don't know why you would buy a super bike or you know, something that's just crazy like that bike too. Excuse the mess again. But you know, get what you like. I can't stress that enough. You know, I have coworkers now that are really thinking about buying this. They've never heard of Aprilia before in their life, and yet they just decided on one day that's it. And I'm like, no, you don't know if that's it. So just keep all that into account. You know, I can't say it enough. Get what you like. That is a MotoGP grade exhaust. Okay, that's not your standard Akrapovic or you know, anything like that. Which those are great too, but they're obviously docile sounding. That was the only downfall for that. But performance wise, money. But that wasn't the purpose of me getting that. So just keep that in mind. Know what you want, and don't buy on an impulse or because you heard it on somebody else's. You can make the wrong mistake and you can waste money and not be happy, which should be your ultimate goal when riding. But that's all I got, guys. Just wanted to chime in. But I'll hit you on the next one. Peace.